Hello, my favorite English language learners. It is your favorite English teacher here, Amy Joy. Have you ever heard someone say something like, "How are we doing time-wise?" Or, "It's a perfect day weather-wise." Or, "You need to turn it clockwise." Or, "I have a deadline tomorrow. Otherwise, I would come with you." In all of these examples, we see the suffix wise with a few different meanings, and in this video, I am going to teach you how to use this suffix like a native English speaker. But before we do that, I want to remind you that my very first ebook is now on sale, 75 advanced C1, C2 level words to help you sound a little bit smarter in English. So if you are preparing for the TOEFL, the IELTS, or just want to level up your vocabulary, go to my website, yourfavoriteenglishteacher.com, and buy my book today. So let's get started. In many of these examples, the suffix wise is usually added to the end of nouns to create an adverb that means in terms of or related to this topic. So in our examples, we see how are we doing time-wise? Means how are we doing related to time? Are we early or are we running late? How are we doing time-wise? It's a perfect day weather-wise just means that the day is perfect in terms of or related to the weather. Maybe you are having a bad day, but at least the day is perfect weather-wise, or in terms of the weather. Or if someone asks you how you are, you can say, "I am doing really well. I am just really busy work-wise. Life is really good, but in terms of work, I am really busy. I am really busy work-wise." Now, there are two other words that use the suffix wise, but in a little bit of a different way. The first is clockwise. This word does not mean in terms of clocks or related to clocks, but rather to turn in the same direction as a clock. So we usually say turn something clockwise, and oppositely, you can turn something counterclockwise. This one is pretty easy to understand. The next one is a little bit more difficult, and that is the word otherwise. There are two main ways to use this word, including its adverb form and its conjunction form. Otherwise, as an adverb, means not including that, except for that, other than that, or besides that. And when we think about this word as an adverb, I actually want you to think about it as but otherwise. Let me give you some examples. Someone might ask you, "How did you like the concert?" And you can say, "Well, there was a really tall man sitting in front of me, but otherwise it was great. But besides that, but except for that, but not including that, it was great." So usually we use the phrase but otherwise to say except for that one bad thing, it was good. Here's another example. Someone asks you, "How was your flight?" And you can say, "It was a bit long, but otherwise it was fine. I slept for most of it." So it was long, but except for that, besides that, not including that, it was fine. So again, if you want to use otherwise as an adverb, you are often going to use it with the word but and say, "But otherwise, it was fine." Now, the other way to use otherwise is as a conjunction. And the meaning in this situation is, if you don't do X, this will happen. Let me give you some examples. "We should leave now. Otherwise, we'll be late." So in this case, otherwise means if we don't leave now, we will be late. It introduces the result of not doing something. Here's another one. "Make sure you follow the instructions carefully. Otherwise, you might make a mistake." And this means if you don't follow the instructions carefully, you will make a mistake. Here's another one. "Sarah lives in a 3-bedroom home, but she has 3 roommates to help her pay for it. Otherwise, she couldn't afford it." If Sarah did not have roommates, she could not afford her home. So in this sentence, otherwise means if she did not have roommates, she could not afford her home. Or another example, "My teacher offered extra credit, and I am so glad she did, because otherwise I would not have passed." So in this case, otherwise means if she hadn't, if there was no extra credit, if the extra credit did not exist, then I would not have passed. And one last example, maybe someone asks you, "Are you going to the party tonight?" And you can say, "I would love to, but I have a project deadline tomorrow. I really need to finish it. Otherwise, my boss will kill me." Otherwise in this sentence means if I don't finish it, My boss will kill me. So there you have it, how to use the suffix wise and the words clockwise and otherwise. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can keep improving your English with me. Bye!